On this month's Northwest Market Update, you're going to learn the top 3 reasons why now is a good time to buy, even though rates have gone up almost 3%. So stay tuned. Hi, Ed Laine here with eXp Realty, reaching out for this month's October Northwest Market Update. I'm actually doing it in my car, no green screen this time around. I was in Las Vegas for the last 4 days and got back after midnight last night and immediately hopped in the car this morning to go show houses. So good news is the market is hopping. Bad news is rates have gone up, right? So what does all that mean? Well, what's interesting to me is that a lot of people don't realize it, but we're still very much in a seller's market. In fact, statewide here in Washington, we have a total of 2 months of inventory. 2 months. And remember, from many of my past videos, the definition of a buyer's market shifting to a seller's market is dependent on how many months of inventory we have. And that tipping point was, for decades, 6 months. In the last 3 years, because we've had such low inventory, they've started to say, well, it's 4 to 6 months, right? But that's just people amending what is a commonly held threshold because they don't imagine we'll ever get back to a buyer's market. The reality is we are in a seller's market, but it is behaving like a buyer's market. Well, why is that, you might ask? Well, what's happened is rates have gone up over 200 basis points, now closer to 300 basis points. And buyers are stepping out of the market, sitting on the sideline, maybe even waiting for rates to go down, which, side note, they will go down. They're never going back below 4%. So don't hold your breath for that. But they're waiting, right? That combined with the fact that some buyers now with higher interest rates can't afford the same neighborhoods that they were hoping to buy in. So there's a grieving process that has to go on. Well, what that's caused is sellers who saw their neighbor's house sell in 12 minutes with 73 different offers, now their home is sitting, right? I just showed a property that's been on the market for 30 days, So sellers are becoming much more pliable. So if you're a seller and you get a buyer to the negotiating table, be willing to negotiate. If you're a buyer, don't be surprised if you run into multiple offers on a home that's brand new on the market. So maybe you want to focus your attention on homes that have been on the market longer. Now you can even adjust your search criteria upwards, because if you're looking at a home that's been on the market for 30 days or even 20 days, you don't have to pay full price anymore, right? You can still get inspection contingencies. You can still do all the normal things that we do in a buyer's market. So it's really an interesting, almost surreal market, right? It's a seller's market by definition, but it's acting like a buyer's market. So that just means it is what I like to call more of a professional's market. If you're a seller, 6 months ago, you could just hire any idiot and they'd put it on the MLS and you'd get 20 offers. No offense to the idiots, right? But now you'd better have somebody with savvy and experience who has an extensive marketing system that's going to drive traffic, get exposure for your property, and elicit the highest possible offer. And could it be a multiple offer situation? Absolutely. Percentage-wise, very unlikely though. So don't be disappointed and don't set your expectation that it's going to sell in the first weekend, because it's probably not, but that's okay. That doesn't mean you have to cave in and give away the farm. That just means that you need to be patient, be creative in your marketing, or have an agent that is, and then negotiate when the opportunity presents itself. So the fact of the matter is, in fact, I have the numbers right here. Snohomish County has 1.63 months of inventory. Pierce County has 1.84 months of inventory. King County, where my office is, 2.02. So it's still a severe seller's market based on the 6-month definition. But again, it's behaving like a buyer's market. So here's another interesting fact. Did you know that 75% of the realtors out there have never seen rates above 5%? Let that sink in. Because we never had rates below 5% until 2010. So that means every realtor that joined the business since 2010 has never seen them above 5%. It's kind of crazy, right? You can work with an old dog like me who's been in the market since the 80s and has seen 18% interest, or you can work with somebody that this is all uncharted territory, right? So choose carefully, be savvy, be patient, and have your ducks in a row, right? Have your pre-approval letter up to date. The changes in interest rates are going to affect you. You're going to not be able to afford maybe what you could have in April, but that's okay. There's plenty of properties out there. That's a couple of the good statistics. If you're a buyer, inventory in King County has gone up 46% in the last 60 days. That's pretty good, right? You also have an opportunity to negotiate. I had a buyer close last month. We got the seller to pay $23,000 to buy down their interest rate. So their rate was effectively like an interest rate from April. So be creative, have people on your team that are creative. And remember, in our country's history, we have never had a recession where interest rates did not go down. Let that sink in, right? Never had a recession where rates didn't go down. Now, this recession is different because inflation is so out of control, rates are going to go up before they go down. So what does that mean? Well, that just means the sooner you buy, the better your initial rate's going to be. But whether you buy now or later, when rates are higher, you're still going to be able to refinance. You know, there's a saying in the mortgage industry, you date the rate but marry the house. So don't buy something you can't afford. No, none of us will ever encourage you to do that, hopefully. But buy something you can afford and expect to reduce the rate with a refinance. So don't waste a bunch of money on buying down the interest rate. Buy it down with the seller's money if you can. But instead of that, get a price reduction. Take the higher rate because you're only going to have it temporarily, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, DM me and I will explain it more deeply. I don't have time for it in this short video, but as many of you know, I've been a licensed loan originator for 25 years, so I know this stuff inside and out, and I can help you. That's it. So other than that, get your ducks in a row, get out there, enjoy, find a house, move in by Christmas, celebrate. Those are your steps, right? And if you're a seller, price it prudently, pay attention to what comps started at, not what they finished at, as far as a list price, and get the advice from an expert, somebody that's sold more than 4 houses in their career. That's it. This is Ed Laine signing off. Have yourself an awesome day. Don't forget to connect with me on Instagram at Mr. Ed Laine, on Twitter at Ed Laine Agent, and you're always welcome to go to my website, edlaine.com. That's all. Have an awesome day.